Alright, I believe we are live. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit before I get moving. Okay, here we go. Oh, hello cloudy camera. I was really not expecting anyone to join the stream, but I'm glad you're here. So I'm just gonna call this for now. Let me start recording. Okay. I'm just gonna change some of the viewport displays for this. Ah, thanks. Thanks, Cloudy. Appreciate it. This character's hopefully going to turn into the project for a tutorial on how to do a 360 character. As you can see here, we've got the turnaround. Alright, no problem, Cloudy. I'll see you soon. See you around. Welcome back, Cloudy. It's nice to have you. Just gonna parent everything here to the face bone. Add some ear bones. Alright, that should... Oh, didn't quite get all of that. Alright, that should be good for now. Yep, I'm going to start parenting objects. So hopefully now this leg can move around. Yeah. Might need to adjust that at some point, but it's fine for now. Ah, I forgot to parent the face bone to the head bone. Oh, I forgot. I also forgot to create the bone for the back of the hair. Good, good. That might be a bit too high for a pivot point. Move that down. Oh, that's not good. Let me undo that, unparent that, and then change that again. Oh, I've got 8 viewers. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone. It's way more people here than I thought there would be. I'm glad that you're here though. right. Thank you, Cloudy. So thank you, Phantasm. I'll try and fix that. Hang on. Is this better? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thanks, Cloudy. That means a lot. Yeah, it's been a busy year, but hopefully I'll be making more stuff on YouTube. Okay, cool. I'm glad that fixed that. Good. All right, I think I want to parent these here, but I think, oh, I forgot to parent this whole side of the leg. All right, that seems to have worked nicely. Oh, need to parent the arms to the body. Nice. Good. All right. Now I just want to go here, make them all Euler rotation. And now I guess it's a bit odd, but I guess I can just start doing the turnaround. That's exciting. Just gonna animate this reference image so that it lines up every frame. Now if I hide the character, accidentally. Just gonna hide the, I'm gonna move the rig into the character grease pencil collection for now. And I'm just gonna briefly increase this opacity. And I'm gonna put the end of the animation here. It's a bit fast, but I think that gives a good idea. I think that one's too far that way. All right. I'm just going to put that opacity back down again. Turn on the character rig. And let's start on the 3/4 view. Now, because I'm going to have to redraw each of these elements, each of these objects, I'm not too worried about making sure they line up perfectly, and I'm more concerned with them lining up with the pivot points for where I want each of the bones to be. Let's move that across. Put that there. Move that. Looking for some grease pencil tutorials a while ago and remembered your channel, but when I checked what you had made recently, I was sad to see you were gone. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Cloudy. Yeah, it's I had really planned to make lots of videos last year, but then you know, work got in the way, and yeah, it's a shame. But I'm back now. I'm hopefully gonna try and put out some more stuff. And I learned a lot about animation in general, but also grease pencil specifically. So hopefully, because I took that long break, I'll be able to make better videos now. Oh yeah. Hey, thanks, Valley Studios. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'm on the lookout for another job now, but yeah, it was such a great opportunity. Right, should I flip this, or should I just redraw it? I think I'm gonna flip it. Oh, thanks, Cloudy. Yeah, I was. Yeah, it's kind of been a bit strange to think, wow, I actually made it. You know, like ever since like primary school, I knew I wanted to be an animator, but like, how on earth was I gonna get there? So it's kind of nice to kind of finally go, oh yeah, I did it. I'm officially an animator now. Alright, now I've got all these bones in the right place, but it's going to look a bit weird when I go into solid rendered view or solid view. Yeah, that looks really messed up, but that's okay, because then I'm going to redraw everything. Oh, actually, I need to also shift the order in the y-axis. Yeah. How's that order? That order's good. Good. And this should probably be in front now. Even of that, yeah. And yep, that's now in front. I'm not exactly sure how to archive streams. So I'll figure it out maybe. But this is also going to be the topic of my next tutorial. So hopefully a lot of the content will be in there as well. But yeah, no, I'll try and archive it if I can. All right. I'm just going to select this object and hide all of the color materials so that I'm just dealing with the line work. I'll select this one as well and hide all of its colored materials. All right. Now I'm going to go in here, select the, where's the materials? There. Ink. Be on the right layer. All right. All of these other objects are kind of getting in the way. I'm going to select the reference image and the grease pencil object, press slash to be in the local view, and then I can just focus on this. All right. Whoa, I accidentally pressed play. Oh no, I think I just, no, everything's okay. I thought I had forgot to turn on automatic keyframing and everything was lost, but no. Do I like the new layout? The new layout of what? Oh yeah, grease pencil. Yeah, no, I do like it. I know it's a big change, but I kind of like having all the brushes at the bottom, really easy to access. I've also tried a little bit of the sculpting, and it's in the same sort of layout. It's nice. I'm gonna try and smooth it out a bit. Actually, that does connect, doesn't it? Yeah, I agree. It's a lot cleaner. It feels really nice now. And maybe I'm just imagining it, but I also feel like when I draw in grease pencil, it's like a little bit less laggy. And like lag was never really a problem with grease pencil, but I just feel like it's a bit better. Maybe I'm just making it up, but it kind of makes sense because I know that they rewrote the whole like grease pencil engine. What did it look like before? that followed that. I need to keep that consistent. Right. Every time I look over, the number of viewers is higher than it was before, which is really scary for me. No, but I appreciate it. Thank you thank you everyone for watching. I feel like my lines are a little bit wobblier than usual today. Alright, that's that object. I should probably turn on the other materials and fill in the color layer, which was blue in here, the darker blue here and here. And then I also need to fill in these gaps. And fill in the gray of the pants. And then I can go back in and delete those those lines. Oh yeah, just say it style. I mean, that's with my first tutorial where I did the head tone character kind of thing. Yeah, I just chose a very wobbly brush, and that was fine. Alright, that's the body, that's the torso done. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm gonna probably have to create a new grease pencil object that is blank on the first frame when he's facing forwards, but then has like a patch over the arm when he's on the 3/4. Oh, thanks, Cardi. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I was pretty happy with how that came out. It was a bit strange to make a tutorial on how to draw an old man, but I think it, worked out. Alright, here we go. Use the ink and make sure I'm on the right layer. Alright. I'm going to turn off the onion skin so that I know what I'm drawing. How am I going to fill this in? I think what I need to do is, this is going to be in front. Alright, I'll figure it out as I go. and then I'm just gonna fill it in like this. I might have to add the little knot of the tie on top. Reduce the line right there. Alright, now I'm just gonna go cursor to selected, add a new grease pencil object. I'm gonna rename it as color front. And then I'm going to select with color front selected. Oh, and I'm going to move it to the correct collection, and the regular color selected. And, or actually first I should parent it to the right bone. So with the color front selected, the regular color selected, and the reference image selected, I'm going to isolate those. And then on the color front, I'm going to remove the default material and add in the ink material. And then I'm just going to hide these again. Yeah, how am I going to do that knot? I think I'll have to make a new object just to slide in between the front color and the back color, and it'll just be parented to the same bone as the body. And rather than filling in this shape, I'm just going to draw it in like this. Oh, I put it on the same layer. That's okay, I can fix that afterwards. But doing this, new layer, and then putting it behind. Right. Now it's in the same plane as the other color, so I'm just going to have to shift that forward. And I'm going to delete its transformation because I don't want that animated. Actually, I'm just going to redraw that color. This might be tricky, actually. Alright, that's fine. And yep, that's filled in correctly. Alright, I'm going to go back to there. Yeah, I'm going to have a separate object just for this. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the color, but with the body. Add a new grease pencil object. Remove that material, add in the ink material. Basically just draw over what I have here. Oh, it's a bit thick. Might reduce the thickness. I'm just going to move that around a little bit in the sculpt mode because it's a little odd. Right. And now in a new layer, I'm just going to add the regular tie material. Or what was it called? Yeah, it was just called tie, of course. Alright, now again, it's in the same plane as the body, so I'm just going to shift it forwards so that, that's interesting. I wonder why that's happening. I forgot to parent this. It's going to be called tie knot. And I'm going to remove its keyframes, and this is probably going to break it, isn't it? No. Nice. I don't understand why. Maybe in the camera view it's okay? Orthographic view? No? That's really annoying. Just gonna turn off that for a moment. And yeah, it's just always in front, even when it's well behind. Hi, Aloka. Nice to see you here. Oh, yeah. Kelly Johnson. Yes, this is going to be a full character rig, hopefully, if all goes well. I've made a character turnaround sheet here. Yeah, and hopefully I'm going to be able to rig it as a full 360 character. It'll be kind of simplistic, but hopefully easy to make as well. Oh, thanks, Scan for Life. I appreciate it. But it's honestly not as difficult as it can look sometimes. Although I don't know why this knot for the tie is appearing. Maybe it's in it because it's in a different collection. No, it's not in a different collection. Oh, there seems to be two objects. Why is that? Yeah, no, it's just in a different collection. Let me just do that. No, it didn't work. That should work. The 3D layering thing. Can you expand on that? Nocturnal blue rose? Is it a setting somewhere? 2D layers, 3D location? That changed something. What about if I do it on this as well? Okay, that seems to be how to layer the individual layers in the object rather than how it renders the objects in the scene. Layers thing. Kelly Johnson. It will, in a way. The way that I've started rigging just recently has been to kind of mix just simple rigging with bones, and then doing the rest by drawing new grease pencil frames or like warping the existing ones. So yes, in a sense, it will have the ability to do whatever facial expression you want, but on another sense, it will be kind of just like drawing frame by frame. Go to object mode. I think it could be set to in front. Oh, that would make sense if I accidentally misclicked it or something. Yes, thank you so much. That must have, yeah, I must have accidentally clicked that. That solves it. Yeah. Thanks, Cloudy. Hello, Rover. Nice to have you here. Maybe seeing error troubleshooting live will make me feel like I don't have to always be perfect. Lol. I always erase everything when I get them. Instead of thinking how to fix them. Yeah, no, I definitely have that propensity too. It's kind of definitely a skill that you can develop over time to kind of slow yourself down and think, hang on, there's gonna be a solution somewhere. I just need to find it. Now that I've drawn that knot, I'm gonna go back to this and just fill in the base color for the waistcoat. All right. Alright, that's looking good so far. Now, this upper arm looks actually pretty good, but I do just want to see I do want to make a new frame anyways. So I'm just going to say insert blank frame on all layers. And I'm going to start drawing. I'm on fill tool. That would be a problem. Ooh. That's odd. Oh, it's because of the onion skin. I'm just going to turn that off. Although, that is helpful here. Alright, there we go. Turn that off. And then with a slightly thinner brush, I'm just going to draw in those details. I finally learned how to rig grease pencil in Blender. Oh, that's great, Rover. I'm so happy. Is this Blender 4.3? Yes. Yes, it is. Archie P, very cool. Thank you. Was your art school in the UK big on Blender, or did you have to pursue Blender skills on your own? I'm actually in New Zealand, but yes and no. So I had already gotten into Blender when, like, in high school. So and that was all self-taught. And then when I did study animation at university, it wasn't so much. They weren't so much big on Blender, but they were just very software agnostic. So they just kind of let us use whatever. I did take the opportunity to learn a little bit of Maya and the like, but for the most part, I just stuck with Blender. I'm kind of getting annoyed that every time I switch to local view, it changes the camera view. And I think I saw a video earlier today that showed me how to fix that. So I'm just going to quickly try and find that. I think it was in Edit, Preferences, Input, or Navigation. Key map, maybe. And maybe if I go local view. Yeah, local view slash, yes. And there was a move it to the, yes, that's what I wanted. Yes, perfect. So now if I press slash, oh no, it still does that. That's annoying. But if I press slash on my numpad, it doesn't. Let's see if there's another one of those. Local. Oh yeah, so that's interesting. It's like the same thing, but alright, there we go. In fact, I'm going to turn it on that one just in case I ever want that. Alright. So now, oh, beautiful. What are some channels for Grease Pencil that you would recommend? Sophie Jantak, Daydoos, Level Pixel Level. Oh, and then I forget the name of the channel, but if you look up Martinez Lara, Daniel Martinez Lara, he's one of the developers of Grease Pencil, I think, and he does some really cool videos. Are you reconstructing the limb but split in two? Yes. So because I'm doing cutout animation, I want everything split up into into different objects, and basically if I want something to rotate, it needs to be its own object. So that's how I'm doing it. So even though in this pose it looks like a very straight limb and I should just draw it as one section, yes, I'm splitting it. Do you make body turns for 2D characters? Yes, but only now. This is my first attempt. I've actually never done it before. Well, that's something of a lie, actually. I did make a small proof of concept. Let me see if I can find it. If I just save this, I go recent demo. Yeah, so this is my first character doing a turnaround. And it's just basically a very simple rig with just 2 bones and a root bone. And then right at the end of the action, I've got a little turnaround, which I just copy into place whenever I need it. So that's hopefully what this more complicated character is going to look like. Sketchy Scroll has been the only good thing I've seen. Oh, thanks. Thanks again for life. Yeah, I think there's not a lot. Oh, actually, there is another person who does rigging who I really recommend. I think his name is Lucas, spelt with a K. Yeah, he makes some good rigging stuff. Mostly using like the Rigify add-on, which can be a lot simpler for beginners to understand, which is nice. And he makes some awesome art. I forgot to select the image as well. All right. I like the idea of having a toon shader in Blender with Grease Pencil instead of having to try to get a toon shader look with a 3D shader. Yeah, I think that's what I've really loved about Blender is you often kind of either limited to just doing 2D animation and trying to make that look as 3D as possible, or you're in a 3D software and you're limited to using 3D but trying to make that look as 2D as possible. But in Blender, it's like you kind of have the option to go either from 2D and make it look 3D, or go from 3D and make it look 2D, depending on what you need. And I think, yeah, that's great. I'm going to turn off the onion skinning. Hey, I didn't know you streamed. Yeah, no, this is my first stream. Sketchy, why don't you have super chats enabled? I didn't actually realize I didn't have them enabled, but I really don't need any support. I really appreciate everyone who's watching, but yeah, no, I really don't need any additional support, at least right now. Great to see you streaming, Sketchy. Thanks. The animation that's mixed between 2D and 3D is called 2.5D, just like in the Amazing World of Gumball. Yes, I love 2.5D animation. It's the best way to make an animation, in my opinion. You know, because you always get to choose what's easiest to get the best result, rather than being locked into a specific medium. I accidentally drew that on the wrong layer. I can just move it, no problem. Oh, that's odd. Oh no, that's fine. And then the shirt as well. There we go. Now, in here, I'm just going to delete that. And that looks good. Alright, that's looking good. Now I just need to redraw the hand. Sketchy, what do you think of Mental Canvas versus Blender? I think I have seen some videos of Mental Canvas. That's the iPad app, right? That allows you to draw 2D things in a 3D space. Yeah, I think that's really good. I think that's awesome, especially for people who aren't super into the technical side of things, like that often Blender kind of requires. But I still prefer Blender because even though it can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of, you always have so much more freedom, and especially because it's open source. I love that Blender is open source. But yeah, no, I think Mental Canvas looks like a great tool. Not for me though. Oh, it's on PC as well. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Maybe I should give it a go. But it seems to kind of have a lot of the same features as Grease Pencil, just cutting it down to make it easier to use. Yeah. Although I never checked if Mental Canvas is open source, so I should have a look at that. A motion comic tutorial series. That would be cool. Yeah, I've never really thought of doing motion comics, but actually I think Blender would be a great tool for that, and I think there's a lot of people out there who would want that, would want to make something like that and don't know where to start. So I think that would be a great idea. I learned to model characters, but the only trouble is that the remesh modifier crashes. Yeah, the remesh modifier can definitely get you into some trouble, especially if you use the slider rather than like typing in a specific number. What I found really helpful is the Boolean modifier. I forget exactly what it's called, but if you look up, it's called Bool Tool on Blender, and so that means that you can join objects together without it changing, without it like regenerating the entire mesh. Sketchy Squirrel really loves his open source. Yes, I do. Open source all the way, 100%. No, it's like $60. Oh, okay. I mean, not everything that is that costs money isn't open source, but generally that's a sign that it's not open source. Like for example, there's a pixel art software called Sprite that's like $10 or something, but it is open source. So if you want to, you can compile it from the code, from the source code, and have it for free. Oh, hang on. Am I on the right object? I am. Ah, I just filled it in with the wrong material. Yeah, with regards to motion comics, I think you're right, Kelly. I think that would be a great tool because I think especially with Blender, it's so difficult to get into for beginners. And so yeah, I think that would be a great idea. I know that at the end of 2023, I made a video where I created like a looping animation. Well, I painted a drawing in Krita and then I made a looping animation with it in Blender. And I think that's kind of the same style as a motion comic. So I think I could I think I could definitely get into that and show how to do that in Blender. Mental Canvas not open source. Okay, good to know. All right, now I'm gonna do the leg. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Is that going to cause issues? Oh no, I'm on the wrong. Okay. No, that should be fine. Although that might cause some problems. If I just, yeah, that'll fix it. Yeah, no worries. All right. And this is still going to be behind the torso, so I can fill that in like this. All right. And then finally, I'm just going to add this little line. All right. Does that work? Oh, it doesn't actually. Hang on. I'm just going to select a vertice, press O. Just shift that until it's going to pivot around where the bones meet. All right, there we go. New Zealand is where they filmed Lord of the Rings. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful country. I love it here. Not a lot of animation jobs, unfortunately, but hopefully I'll be able to stick around for a while. All right, I'm looking. Oh, I forgot to rename the left side of the leg correctly. It's okay, I can do that at the end though. Right. I'm just gonna select this, this, slash. Right. Okay, cool. Oh, I spelled shin wrong. just going to turn off onion skin for the color layer. I'm going to use the ink tool, brush tool. I need to increase my brush size. I'm not happy with this pressure sensitivity fall off. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to do that. I don't really like my lines tapering to a perfect point. No, hang on though. On the last frame, I did that by, and this is just simply, right, so it's kind of filled in around the back. So I'll do the same thing here. And then I just need to connect it up here. And then draw the line. I'll make it a little bit smaller. All right. And then also this one. Now I just need to go to the bottom layer, and I'm just going to fill that out with like a cap rather than a curved cap end. And now I can just select that, delete it. All right, there we go. Oh, that's a bit long. Just going to move that in a little bit, and I'm going to also shorten this line a bit, just because it kind of clips into the shin. I just want the foot. Is the right object? Yes, yes it is. Okay, good to know. Also going to turn off the onion skin for the color layer. Since I'm a beginner, my animations made in Blender will be cartoon style and possibly low poly. It's hard for me to make the art style like in Pixar movies, but I will do more practice. Yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea to kind of go to tread the line between pushing yourself with skills that you don't know yet, and then also doing something you know you can do and be happy with. Because on one hand, you want to keep yourself motivated, but you also want to always be learning. So I think that's a good idea. Sketchy, you ever tried making a 3D character and then doing the mesh to grease pencil option and then try to rig that? I haven't done anything substantial like that, but I have done some tests and some like smaller things. I don't think I've. Oh, you mean the? Oh, sorry, no. I thought you were talking about the line art modifier, where like it generates grease pencil to look like line art on a 3D mesh. But no, you're saying the mesh to grease pencil option. I don't know what that would look like. That would look really cool potentially. I don't know how versatile that would be as a technique overall. But yeah, that'd be interesting. And I believe, yeah, it's just the color of the shirts there. Right, there we go. I'm gonna alter the shape of the thigh a little bit. Just bring it in slightly. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to do the other leg. Although I noticed that the arm is looking a bit thin with the line work, so I'm just going to increase that a bit. You tried it, couldn't get the head to rig properly. Right, yeah, I wonder what that would look like, because I know that when everything's in one object or even one layer in the grease pencil object, like the rendering can get a bit messed up with regards to like what's in front of what. So I'd be interested to see what that would look like. CGI characters can be used for live action movies like Jurassic Park. So had CGI effects, but the original trilogy had stop motion puppets before special edition came. Yeah. I've been working on NPR stuff, trying to make it look like 2D. Oh, cool. Yeah, I really like doing both 2D stuff that, like, often people see me do like head turns or a turnaround and they're like, well, why wouldn't you just do a 3D character? And it's like, well, sometimes it's nice to make it look, to have something 2D and try to make it look 3D. And then I think it's also really nice to have something that's 3D and try and make it look 2D. And you're always going to come up with something different. You know, it'll be always unique, the way, the art style. Alright, I'm just going to turn that off and that off. Head. If you make an animation like in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, which style would you go for? 2D style from 2003 version or CGI style from 2008? I don't think I've actually seen either of those, so I should look that up. Clone Wars 2008. Let me look at. Oh yeah, that I do like the 3D style of that. I feel like sometimes the animation can be a little bit low quality, but then at the same time, I feel like that's just always going to be the case with animated stuff, especially 3D. what was the other option? 2003, right? Yeah, I think I've seen some clips of this. This looks really cool. I do really like this 2D style. I think I'd probably, if I were to make an animation similar, I would go for this style. Yeah, I think I think probably last year at I probably would have given a different answer, but just this year I've really fallen in love with 2D cutout animation. Never seen a Star Wars movie. Um, yeah, I have seen at least the originals. I don't remember them very well though because I was very young. Yeah, I agree. It's very uncommon to see a good a well animated 3D TV show, and I think that just yeah, it's like it's odd because I feel like if you can do a better job with 2D on the same budget, just do it in 2D. You know, save 3D for the bigger budget feature films. You know. Yeah, there are exceptions. I remember in when I was studying animation, we watched a show called Maya and the Three. Um, I forget who made it, but it was just it was made in Blender, which is really cool. It was a 3D show, and I don't know, it looked really cool. I think they made some really smart decisions to allow them to make something that was really high quality on a lower budget, simply just because of the animation style that they chose to go with. Did I know Toy Story was the first animated movie in CGI? Yes, I did know that. I think it was the first feature film. I think there were some other shorter things, other shorter projects that were made with CGI. But yeah, it was the first. It was the first time that people were like, "Oh, this CGI thing is actually, usable." Although I saw a making like a behind the scenes video a while ago, and it showed how they animated the characters, and it looked so tedious because like you would select the a specific bone, and then you'd have like this big spreadsheet which was like the equivalent of what we would call the graph editor now. And you just had to edit the values of the location and rotation and scale one by one, almost frame by frame. But I think it did interpolate, but like it just seemed wow, that's a lot of work, and they did such a good job considering. Okay, now I want to fill in the pants. I need to move that onto the correct layer. There we go. that's annoying. Hang on. Now I need to adjust this pose so that the foot is behind the shin. There we go. I think I may have drawn that hand slightly too big. Just gonna shrink it down. Alright, now just this arm and then the head to go. Ah, I forgot to insert a new keyframe. There we go. This is the tricky part, is knowing what to draw when it's hidden behind something in the turnaround. But I think that looks good. Got the wrong material selected. There we go. Ooh, that forearm might be too short. I'm going to just adjust this one. So that it's a little bit shorter. And then in the pose, I'm just going to move this up slightly. Oh wow, I've got 20 people watching. Wow. Thank you everyone who's tuned in. I really appreciate it. This has gone a lot better than I had ever expected it to. So I'm probably going to keep streaming as the future continues. I'm going to keep, yeah, you understand what I mean. I'm going to adjust this like that. have you heard of limited animation as like a specific concept? No, not really. But if you just mean like to stylistically choose to do very simple animation, then yes, and I think it's an awesome thing. Oh no, am I on the wrong object? No, I'm on the right object. That doesn't look quite right. I'm just gonna add some more line work there. Oh, don't want to use the fill tool. I'm just gonna reduce the line weight subtly. Alright. Limited animation refers to a technique that uses simplified character designs, repetitive movement, and minimal frame-to-frame changes to reduce production costs and time. Right, yeah. So in that case, yes, I've definitely heard of it. I think it's a great thing. Depending on the context, some projects I think would be a lot worse if they used limited animation, but then I think other times it's a great tool. Alright, now I just need to redraw this hand. Am I not using the correct material? I am not. There we go. Oh, I don't know if that's a good place for the pivot point to be. I'll move that down and then move it back up. Alright, thanks Cloudy Camera, thanks for tuning in, thanks for your engaging conversation. I appreciate it. How would you put Moho up against Grease Pencil? It's tricky to compare software like that. Like, I feel like they're so different that it's not as though one is going to be just objectively better than the other. For example, I think with Moho, it's really good at making super smooth character turnarounds. But then there are trade-offs to that. Like the drawing tools aren't great, though they're getting better, and similar other like limitations. It's better for probably beginners because it's easier to use. But then again, it's not open source like Blender, which is a shame. But then again, it has a pretty good subscription. Like it's not subscription based. It's like a one-time purchase and then you own the license, which is better than Adobe software or even like Toon Boom, which I love. So yeah, it's just tricky to compare the two software. I think for me, I'm hugely biased towards open source software, so yeah. Cloudy, if you're still here, I'll definitely do more streams. But yeah, I've really appreciated you being here. Yeah, thanks. Should that be shaded? Maybe it should, but how do I? I might just draw it in manually. Maybe this one as well. Yeah. And then like that, maybe? No. Maybe like this. No, again, I think it's best like that. Alright. Is that the sketchiest of all the squirrels? It is. Hi, Jeannie. Nice to see you here. I feel like Moho would be really good for beginners if it were cheaper. It's $400 for Pro. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Unfortunately, we're also kind of living in a time where actually that's a pretty good price for animation software. Like, for example, Toon Boom is like $2,000 a month or something. I might be exaggerating that. I don't have the number on the top of my head. Whereas at least Moho, you only have to pay for once and then you can use it forever. Humble Bundle. I don't think I've heard of that, but yeah, that's a pretty good. That's a good deal. So 12.5 version 12.5. That's a little bit older, but it's really good still. So yeah, if you can Nocturnal Blue Rose, if you can find Moho on Humble Bundle like Jeannie's suggesting, it's a really good tool. But yeah, no, for me, open source all the way. Got to use Blender. Alright, rather than making a new drawing, I'm going to duplicate the active keyframe and just use the sculpting tools to shift this into place. Cool. It's a version I used to love. Wouldn't ever step down from 14 now that I have 14. I love my liquid shape tools. Yes, I recently got version 14. I upgraded from 13 just because because I love Moho still. And I was gonna do some freelance work with it. But yes, I love 14. I haven't played with the liquid shapes yet, but it looks so cool. Oh yeah, if you've learned Blender, yeah, no, definitely don't spend $400 or even $25 on another tool. Blender's a great tool. Alright, I think it's time to start redrawing the head. This is going to be intense. Hopefully not too bad. Now, on the front-facing frame, he had his ears attached to the same object as the head. But actually, for this 3/4 view, I'm gonna have another object have the ear so that I can move it individually. Man, it's getting hot in here today. the bitmap tool came on Moho Pro 13, so it was removed on Moho 13.5 and 14. The bitmap tool came on Moho Pro 13, but it was removed. Was it removed? I never realized it was removed. Did you draw this character in Grease Pencil or another program? This character here, I drew the turnaround. So this reference sheet that I did, I made that in Critter, which is another open source software for drawing with pixels rather than vectors like with Grease Pencil. But right now I am drawing with Grease Pencil. Though there's no reason that you couldn't make a character turn around like this with Grease Pencil. I need to figure out if I want to make this part of the hair a separate object so that I can move it individually. I would have to add a new bone to the rig, which isn't difficult, but yeah, bitmap tool was a mistake. I still have 13 installed because I love that mistake. Yeah, it's tricky because you do want some bitmap features, but it'd be nice if they were more stable. No resize or select tools. Yeah, it just wasn't a very good painting software. Like, you'd just be better off using Critter or Photoshop and then importing it into Moho, kind of like what you'd do in Blender. Moho Pro, you can still import bitmap images as PSD files. Yeah, no, I think that is the way to go with Moho and even Blender as well. Ultimately, yeah, even if you got Moho 13, the bitmap tools are not where they need to be for a good production. What's actually really cool, because you can import PSD files and Critter can export PSD files, you can actually just import directly from Critter, which is a really fun thing to do. To use a little bit more open source. Oh. I think I'm actually going to connect that up like that. And then on the ear, I'll make the separation. I've been meaning to check out Live 2D forever, man. That subscription model will be looking mighty unattractive. Yeah, I hate subscription models. It's like, it's just, I want to buy a software and then just use it forever. Or better yet, just have free access forever like I do with Blender. Yeah. Live 2D, isn't that for like live streaming VTubers, is it? Can you also do like more traditional animation, like cutout animation as well? I think I've decided this bit of hair is going to be in this object, just to keep things simple. Alright, let's turn on all these things. Oh no, I was on the wrong layer. It's alright. Alright, skin. Skin shade. I don't think I need anything. What did I have on this? Ah, the ears. Ah, yes, I don't need that anymore. Alright, the base hair. Ah, actually, hang on. I forgot to add that one line, which is going to be important. Just this one here. Oh, wrong. Oh no. Ah, I just have it on the fill tool. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now I can fill in everything. Alright, skin. Base hair. Base hair shadow. And the grey. Alright, that's already looking better. Let's see how it's looking so far. Yeah, it's almost there. Ah. Oh no, I got it. It's okay. And with this, I'm just gonna insert duplicate active keyframe on all layers. And then I'm just gonna warp it into place with the sculpt tools. What is your favorite British cartoon? My favorite is Danger Mouse. Oh, I love Danger Mouse. I know that they recently made a new one, and it's not as good. The old Danger Mouse all the way. My favorite British cartoon. I think I can't remember exactly the name. It was like something in Lola. It was about these like, I don't know if it was actually stop motion, but it kind of looked like stop motion paper puppets. And they really liked strawberry milk or pink milk. Oh, that was a good show. A lot of use it to animate, not just rig. Okay, so that's live 2D. Oh, could I up my mic by chance? I don't know. Test 1 2 3. I've just moved it a bit closer. Hope that's fixes it a bit. Ooh, you got good stuff. I've been seeing your stuff. You got really cool grease pencil rigs. Oh, thank you, Evie DB. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Jeannie, tell me if the mic's good. Oh yeah. All right, thanks. I'm probably gonna have to find a way to up the mic volume before I stream again, because it's quite up in my face right now. Danger Mouse was frame by frame in the original and rigged in the reboot with some CGI models. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about like the medium that people choose to create shows. I I think actually with TV 2D animation, often it will look better when it's cut out, just because, well, that you don't have to outsource it to really cheap labor to get all the in-betweens done. You know, you can just have the computer do the in-betweens, and often you get animators will make it look a bit smoother. Yeah, but I think I just didn't like the story as much. You know, the original Danger Mouse was awesome. Right, I'm going to hide the fill colors there so that I can redraw this mustache. Just insert blank. Okay. I'm actually going to turn off that. OBS sources the funny green bars, little 3 dots, filters, and then add gain filter. Oh, okay. How do I? Okay. Let me see that. So OBS sources. Oh, sources. 3 dots. Right. Yeah. I think I found that. Sources. Add gain filter. OBS audio sources. The funny little green bars, 3 dots. Filters. Oh, yeah. And then add a gain. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Tell me when this gets too loud. Alright, testing 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's already better. I can see with the little green bars. Is that good? Add gain filters. Yeah, I think I've done it. Alright. Okay, so how you're doing this is like all the different angles separated by frames, right? And then a time offset modifier. Actually, no, I'm not going to do a time offset modifier. If I just open up I mean, you've basically got the concept, but I find that the time offset modifier actually limits it in a way that I don't like. If I go to my demo, right? Here I have this rig that's very simple, where I'm just going to turn off the... is it this? Oh, I forget where the onion skins are. Alright, well, anyway, I'm just going to go into render view. That'll turn off the onion skins. Okay, so I've got this very simple rig, and way off at the end of the timeline, I just have this. So I've got the keyframes for the bones synced up with the keyframes for grease pencil. And then rather than using a time offset modifier, I will simply select everything, including the armature and the grease pencil objects. And if I want the side view, right, I will just select that, press Ctrl C, go to the frame that I need it at. Let's say here, press Ctrl V. Oh, and it didn't work that time. That's odd. Why didn't it work that time? When I animated it originally, it worked. Do I need to... Maybe I need to duplicate it rather than copy paste. No. What's up with this grease pencil object? Oh no, I just copied the wrong frame. That's my bad. Yeah, so I just copy it into place, and then as the animation plays, I just keep the grease pencil keyframes synced up with the bones keyframes, and so it'll look like this. Yeah. There's a bit of delay. Yeah. Oh, with the audio. Is the delay with the audio? I know there's going to be a delay with like between you saying something and me being able to read it. Yeah, I'd say 11 is good. Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, that's good. All right. That's good. All right. Do you know Blender can do comic book style, like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Actually, that's really interesting. In the second Spider-Verse film, they actually did use grease pencil to create some of the frame-by-frame effects, which is, I think that's so cool. But yeah, no, grease pencil is a great tool. I don't think it can fully recreate Spider-Verse, but as a tool within like other tools like the shaders and the geometry nodes and that sort of thing, you can absolutely create some Spider-Verse style stuff. Look at you with your professional setup. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So what's the issue with the time offset modifier? So the issue with the time offset modifier is it kind of locks things in, and what I mean by that is, like often with rigs that I've done in the past where I did use the time offset modifier, what would happen is I'd create like the mouth shapes all at the beginning of the timeline, and then the time offset modifier would basically choose what frame you want to show. But then if halfway through the animation I want to create a new mouth shape, it's kind of tricky. I have to like disable the modifier, go to the beginning of the timeline, add the new shape, re-enable the modifier, and then whatever's controlling the modifier, I animate that to show the new frame. Whereas, and I think with mouth shapes, that's still probably worth that effort. But for something else like the head or the arms, specifically the arms, I'd actually prefer just to be able to just draw a new frame whenever I want. I did that recently. I was experimenting with this sort of rigging technique recently when I did my recent Bad Jelly fan art thing. I wonder if I can find it here. It'll be maybe it's not here. It's not, but if I find it somewhere else, it'll be in 2024 YouTube. New job, video editing, actual project. Oh, it'll be it'll actually be in 2025. Hang on. Where is it? Blend. Oh no, I don't have it. Oh, that's a shame. All right. But it's in my last video, I had a project that kind of uses a similar technique, and I think I was able to make a much more dynamic animation because of it. Hello, Animate. Nice to have you here. All right, I'm just gonna keep going with this mustache. Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna need to separate that onto two different objects. Oh no, I'll probably be able to get away with it. There we go, and I am gonna also, I think I'm not gonna redraw this nose, but I will make a duplicate keyframe. so that I can edit it. And this eye is almost perfect, but I'm still going to make a duplicate so that I can shift this over a little bit. I'm going to use actually a linear fall off. Right, perfect. And on this eye, I'm going to make a duplicate, and I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to move that over like that. There we go. What Blender version are you using? I think it's a 4.3 something. 4.30. My cat is staring at me and burbles whenever I look at him. Oh, that's so cute. Which one's it? Oh, I forgot to insert a keyframe on the nose there. There we go. Alright, I think I just need to do these brows. Just move that on top. There we go. Alright. I reckon I'm almost there. With this view at least. Oh, so many more views to do. It's alright, I'll get there. And hopefully I'll be able to reuse a lot more drawings as I go. So hopefully that'll speed things up a little bit. Alright, I just need to quickly add an object. Add a grease pencil object, empty. I'm going to press, I'm going to call it year 1. And I'm going to get rid of this material, add, oh, no, not a new material, just add the ink material. Alright. And I'm just going to draw that for now. And I'm going to disable the skin and other such colors so I can see the reference material again. Although, quickly, just want to fill that in. A little gap in some of the corners. I think that should be it. Alright, I'm going to disable the skin material and all the other fills. So that when going back to my grease pencil or my ear, I can see it properly. Alright, now I just need to use the snipper tool. snip, snip. Right, now I need the skin and the skin shade. And on a new layer, I can fill those in. Oh, wrong material. There we go. Low poly, still around. Oh yeah, talking about 3D graphics, pretty cool stuff. Question for you: what's your most favoriteest project you've gotten to work on? Bad Jelly, 100% Bad Jelly. I've done a lot of projects for personal work, and I had a lot of fun with the projects I did for university, but still, by far, Bad Jelly the Witch, if I just look that up. I go to videos. Hang on, let me just find it properly. So yeah, last year I got to work on this project, and it was so much fun. So this is the trailer.
These books are full of useless nonsense.
This is the trailer for Bad Jelly. It's on the Muck Putty YouTube channel, and if I just find this shot here, I drew that hand. It's the only thing that I did that actually made it into the trailer. Yeah. All right. Afghan Jabrilov, sorry. In the indie game scene, definitely. Oh yeah, it's still talking about the 3D stuff, I think. I played Sonic games. So Bad Jelly is so cool. Your animations for it are slick. Thank you. Have you seen Bad Jelly? I know it's only available in New Zealand and Canada right now, but I know it's coming out in Australia and the UK soon. Sketchy, how do we support you financially since you don't have super chats on? I really appreciate it. I think, I don't know. I really don't. Right, maybe I'll turn them on soon, but I really don't need financial support right now. The hand. Yeah. Look, Gary, it's my hand meme here. Hang on. I need to look up the meme. I'm not very well cultured with regards to memes. Yeah, I understand the meme now. Yeah, that's very, very true with the Bad Jelly stuff. Sketchy Scroll, is the cartoon made in Blender? No, it's not. We made it in Toon Boom Harmony. It was my first professional job. But I've learned a lot from using Toon Boom Harmony, and I'm actually using some of the techniques I learned now in Blender. Just Arrived looks really polished and nice. The planes grease pencil parented to the armature yet at this stage? Yes. So right now what's going on is I'm kind of experimenting with a new technique where I have just a very simple rig. Oh, I need to parent that to the ear. Where I just have a very simple rig and then I use I just redraw the grease pencil objects. Hang on, let me just shift that in front. And I just redraw the grease pencil objects as it turns. So you can see I've done 2 views so far. Fiery, I appreciate you dropping in. No, it's not where I live. Oh, that's a shame. You know, don't tell anyone, but I've seen that the first 2 episodes are illegally on YouTube. So if you want to see it there, oh yeah, or VPN it. That'll be better. That'll support the show, and you'll get a higher quality product. So you can watch it if you VPN into New Zealand. You can watch it on TVNZ. I want to smell this. What's your favorite Nickelodeon cartoon? I don't think I watched a lot of Nickelodeon as a kid. I definitely watched some SpongeBob, and that was definitely fun, but I don't know. Can something like that be done in Blender yet, or is it not there yet? It's a very different program, so I don't know if you're ever going to be able to make something that looks like it's made in Toon Boom in Blender, and I don't think you're ever going to be able to make something look like it's made in Blender in Toon Boom. But I did make this little fan art. Hang on, if I just find it. And here it is. All right. So this was like fan art for Bad Jelly. This was made in Blender.
I was little, I was ravishing. I was glorious, truly gorgeous, impish and mischievous and adorable. I have no doubt at all that I would have fallen in love with myself. When I look at photographs of myself as that little girl, and then I look at myself now, I think, oh dear. But that's what happens. You have to take the rough with the smooth.
Alright. Sketchy, what do you think of Loud House animations? I don't think I've seen Loud House. I should look it up. I think I've seen things in a similar style, but I don't think I've actually seen the show. Is it good? Wait, hang on, I think I've missed some messages. Okay, how would you rate Blender Grease Pencil up against programs like TV Paint and Toon Boom Harmony? I've never used TV Paint before, so I can't really say, but Toon Boom, it's so different. I hate to say it because I love Blender so much and I love open source software so much, but I think Toon Boom's better right now. Like it just, you can do more with it and you can do it faster. But that's just that's where we are at the moment, at least. I'm hoping Blender will develop alongside, and hopefully they'll get better. Cool. That's cool. Are the new angles on separated grease pencil object or another frame? Another frame. So every object in the character, I'm just animating, like on frame 1 it's on this view, on frame 2 it's just a new keyframe rather than a new object. So many messages. Have you ever drawn characters in a Powerpuff Girls style? No. I saw a really cool video, like behind the scenes video, about how Powerpuff Girls came to be, but no, I haven't actually done a lot in that style. Oh, thank you, Evie. I was really proud of that fan art. It was nice. It was a lot of fun to make as well. Oh, thank you. Your wizard level is like at least a skajillion. Oh, thanks. Can you do 3D characters in Toon Boom? No. So yeah, earlier when I was comparing Blender and Toon Boom, if you want to do 3D, definitely go with Blender. But Toon Boom's an amazing tool for 2D cutout animation and frame by frame animation. The Loud House is a newspaper comic style. I tried to figure out how to make comic shading like in the Loud House, but it's pretty hard. But I'm still trying to find a way. Yeah, it's so much fun to kind of recreate visual styles, but yeah, it can be tricky as well. Alright. I reckon... Yeah, I only made one extra view, but hopefully it'll start to speed up after this, but I think that's going to be it from me today. Thank you everyone who's dropped in. Oh, hang on, let me... but can you elaborate on you can't make something in Blender look like it's made in Toon Boom and vice versa? I think what I mean is, it's not about aesthetics. You talk about, obviously, but what do you mean by that? So I think whatever software you use, it's going to influence the way you draw, the way you make things. And that doesn't necessarily mean one's better than or the other, but like, for example, if you switch between like Critter and then Fire Alpaca or something for drawing, you're going to find that the quality of the line is different, and so it feels different to draw, and that's going to affect the way that it looks in the end. So even though you can always make amazing work no matter what tool you're using, the tools you're using will affect the outcome. And so in that sense, it's just like, if you want to make something that looks like it's made in Toon Boom, you should use Toon Boom. If you want to make something that looks like it's made in Blender, you should use Blender. Can you 3D design backgrounds with Toon Boom? I think there are some limited 3D tools in Toon Boom, but personally, I would just composite them in a separate program. So I would like do all the 2D animations in Toon Boom, all the 3D stuff in Blender, and then composite them in probably Blender or like Nuke or After Effects or something like that. Alright. Yeah, no worries. Oh, Fire Alpaca mentioned. Yeah. Oh, good night. Alright. I'll see you all around, and I think that'll be it for me. Oh, there's another question. Hang on. Did you know they use stop motion for the animatic to create Jurassic Park before they make the dinosaurs in CGI? I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense. Like, you want to get the sense of scale right and that sort of thing. Alright. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, Nocturnal Blue Rose. I really want Blender to be, I don't know, more like a viable option for a professional studio to make a production with. But hopefully, in the meantime, let's just, if we all make some awesome Blender stuff that's like amateur, personal work, Blender will develop in that area, and eventually it'll become professional quality software. I mean, it is professional quality software, but I mean specifically rigging grease pencil. You like Final Space, Sketchy? I do like Final Space. I love the animation quality. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way it's drawn, but it's alright. You disagree and agree at the same time. Yeah, no, that's understandable. I don't know if I articulated myself super well talking about Toon Boom, but yeah. Keep asking questions and you'll stay online. Alright, thanks. Yeah, no, I think I do. I've got to go. Thank you everyone who's turned up, and I'm gonna another question. Yeah, so the tools are different, yeah. And it's just it doesn't mean one's better than the other, but it just means it's gonna be influenced by the tools. Alright. I'll see you all around. Thank you all for dropping by. This has gone so much better than I ever could have expected it to, and I made some some progress on my project, which is nice. Alright, goodbye. Stop recording. Stop.